Yo, what's up, people? It's your boy. I'm back with another video, live stream. Before I begin today's live stream, I first like to point this out. Uh, I normally do these live streams because it's a lot quicker to do a live stream than a video. It downloads process a lot more quicker. I don't have to edit and chop things up and all that. So if people catch my live stream midway stream or closer to the end, and then they say, yo, who are you talking to? I just basically use the live stream as a video. It's a lot easier to download it and process it quicker that way. Plus, if someone stops by, want to ask a question or two, ask away. All right, but nevertheless, let's get into today's topic. And Phil Spencer did an interview. And I'm not even going to pronounce the magazine name because I butcher people's names on an everyday basis. I'm not even going to attempt it. But anywho, he did an interview for a magazine, and he talked about Bethesda. And the interviewer asked him, are all Bethesda games are going to be exclusively for the, Xbox consoles? And, they paid $7.5 billion for this acquisition. So, of course, there was always not a strong possibility that all of these games would be exclusively for Xbox. Okay. So he asked him the question, and Phil Spencer said, yeah. Now, he also said in this same interview, can you make $7.5 billion by exclusively taking all the Bethesda games off of PlayStation and off of Nintendo? He answered again, yes. Okay. Now, before we get into the meat and the potatoes of this video, I'm going to reiterate what I have said about this acquisition of Microsoft buying Bethesda. Okay. And I said several live streams and videos ago, when this announcement came public, I told you guys, at the end of the day, I think this is a great move for Microsoft buying Bethesda. It increased the roster when it comes to first-party studios making games exclusively for the Xbox consoles. That's a good thing. And it also benefits Game Pass. So now all of Bethesda's catalog will be on Game Pass, and it's controlled by Microsoft. So yeah, I thought it was a great business move. However, and I always stated this, I still think, and still to today, Microsoft did it with themselves. No one else was willing to shed out $7.5 billion. Okay, AT&T could have purchased that. Sony could have purchased that. Okay, Google could have purchased that. Amazon could have purchased that. But nobody was willing. It's not the fact that no one had the money, just no one was willing to spend that much money on this with this business, with this acquisition. So I always stated to you guys, it was a great deal for Microsoft, but overall, I think they was bidding with themselves, and they paid way too much for this acquisition. They could have gotten all of this far less than what they spent. All right. 3, I still feel like, and I said, when this was first drawn to everyone's attention, I always stated to you guys that at the end of the day, it's Microsoft property now, and moving forward, when people buy when corporations buy businesses, it's either one or two things done transpire. Either the company that they're acquiring, when you look at them business wise, they're not moving the same like they once was. That's why a lot of businesses are for sale. You can't buy a successful business. So Microsoft will never, and I'm here to tell you, Microsoft may have partnerships with EA, but you'll never see the day where Microsoft owns EA, because EA is a large enough corporation and a very successful corporation. Now, a lot of people talk about Sega, and I remember back in the day, Sega used to make consoles. Okay, Sega used to make software and consoles. Now they just make software. And you know, when they was making consoles with the Dreamcast, that was their last line of defense with the Dreamcast. And I was a huge Dreamcast lover. Don't get it twisted, okay? I thought the Dreamcast was the best thing since sliced bread. And that crashed and burned. And Sega had to refigure how they're going to move forward. They got out of the hardware business. There's, you know, and now they're fully software, and they're very profitable. And I've heard rumors that, oh my God, Microsoft could buy Sega. Sega's not for sale. Despite all of despite all of the things Sega has done wrong in the past 20 years, still Sega is a big enough corporation that's successful. A lot of Sega's exclusive IPs are everywhere. They're on PCs, they're on tablets, they're on smartphones, they're on consoles. And that's how Sega is. That's the reason why Sega is moving like they're moving today. Okay? So, I think the Bethesda deal was a great deal for Microsoft from that standpoint, but I still think they overspent way too much money for this acquisition. And at the end of the day, I kind of lost my train of thought. They bid it with themselves, pretty much. I think they could have gotten this. I think they could have gotten Bethesda far less, because Bethesda was on its last legs. The Bethesda that we knew and grew up alongside with 10 years ago is not the same Bethesda of today. Bethesda has made a lot of business decisions, that did not work favorably for Bethesda. Fallout 76 was just the last straw for gamers. Okay? Now, Wolfenstein is pretty dope. That's a pretty good game. All right? Elder Scrolls. There's going to be games that's going to be kind of missed on the PlayStation roster for PlayStation gamers and for Nintendo gamers, like Elder Scrolls, Wolfenstein, Doom. You know, those IPs are going to be sorely missed for PlayStation owners. But guess what? PlayStation owners got a multitude of other things that they can play. Doom Eternal is not a system seller. Wolfenstein is not a system seller. Elder Scrolls is not a system seller. So I'm pretty sure if you got PlayStation and Nintendo fanboys and they only want, well, first of all, you can always buy an Xbox console. There's no law that says you can't have both consoles in your household. All right? You can have a PlayStation 5 and an Xbox Series X. It is not that difficult, okay? They're very affordable, all right? If you can't get them on launch day, you can probably get one or the other a year or two down the road, okay? So, as far as these games go, even though these games, even if if fanboys are into these games and they happen to have a Nintendo console or a Sony console, life will go on. They will find other things of enjoyment, or they will just simply just buy an Xbox Series X. That's the real question. A lot of these fanboys have not, answered. Are Bethesda IPs so important? Are people that are not accustomed to buying an Xbox Series X all of a sudden got to say, wow, I like PlayStation, so that means I got to get an Xbox? Or, wow, I might have to pledge my allegiance to another console. Instead of getting a PlayStation 5, this move sways me to get an Xbox Series X. No. None of those IPs resonate that way. None of them are system sellers. They will be missed, but they won't be sorely missed. Okay, life will go on with a lot of the fanboys that only prefers one console and one console only. Now, the multitude of people like myself, I always get both consoles every generation, so I don't miss nothing. But me getting a PlayStation 5 this year, and then later on next year getting the Xbox Series X, I will have both of these consoles in my household, and I still won't buy any of the Bethesda IPs because they just don't interest me at the end of the day. I feel like Microsoft, by acquiring this company, they have a multitude of games that they can line up on Game Pass. But let's talk about these games for a second. Are we going to be able to play any of these games next year? Possibly next holiday season? Are they going to add these games next holiday season when Halo Infinite's supposed to be coming out? A lot of these games are still in development. A lot of these games are 2 or 3 years down the pike. So you're not even going to reap the rewards of of Microsoft acquiring Bethesda. You're not going to reap the rewards of these new IPs until if you're lucky, 2 years down the road. But let's be for real, it may be 3 years down the road. So I feel like this is a good acquisition for Microsoft, but by no stretch of the imagination that all of these IPs, they're going to be missed, but they're not going to be sorely missed. I feel like Nintendo gamers will just simply move on. They will find other things to play. Sony gamers will move on. They will find other things to play and spend their money on. Phil Spencer can recoup his $7.5 billion investment by selling these IPs on PC, smartphones, tablets, and Xbox consoles. Yeah, he'll be able to recoup it. Of course he will. But I still feel like this is I still feel strongly about them acquiring Bethesda. But I always stated in every live stream, in every tweet, anything when I'm mentioning this, I feel like this is a good move for Microsoft, but they overspent for this acquisition. And it was just bidding among themselves, okay? Among themselves, okay? I like that. So they basically bidded with themselves. No one else it didn't even pique any other company's interests. Like I said, Amazon has a ton of money. They could have bought this. Sony has a ton of money. They could have bought this. Epic has a ton of money. They could have bought this. Steam, AT&T. The list goes on and on and on and on. Google, a lot of these corporations have the money to spend to acquire Bethesda. And that's how bad of a hole Bethesda was in. The company was so bad, and they made bad decisions after bad decisions, and they couldn't get over the hump of these bad decisions. Now they're selling off the company. You're not getting the same Bethesda that you got 10 years ago. You're getting 2020 Bethesda, not 1990 Bethesda. There's a huge difference. It's sort of like dating a hot supermodel that was hot 10 years ago, and now you got your hands on this quote unquote hot supermodel. She's 10 years older. She doesn't have the same body that she once had 10 years ago. She has kids now. Everybody, including everyone's mama and their grandmama, done ran through her. But you're pumping your fist going, yay, I got the hot model that was hot in 1990. That's what I'm talking about. But overall, this is a good deal for Bethesda. All right. So I understand. Yeah, Phil Spencer can make the money back, but this is not doom and gloom for the fanboys at Sony. This is not doom and gloom for the fanboys of Nintendo. Hell, PC gamers are not even clamoring for this decision. A multitude of Xbox gamers who already have Game Pass is not clamoring for this decision. All right. So, okay. So, yeah, that's all I have to say on the Bethesda topic. Another thing I wanted to talk about real fast and real quick is, to me, the GameStop the GameStop partnership. And it comes to find out that GameStop is going to be making some coins off of a lot of things Microsoft is offering to the consumer base. And that's a good thing for GameStop. And they're also using GameStop to pre-order their consoles and have a rent-a-center type of approach to the Xbox Series X and S. Now you can pre-order these consoles through the app. All right. I don't know if you can still do it now, but 8 hours ago you was able to do it. I don't know if they still have consoles available, or do they put you in a waiting line and you may not get it on launch day, you might not get it on Christmas Day, but you are secure to get an Xbox Series X whenever they are available. It goes by who's in line at that particular time. They might have it set up that way. All right. And I feel like that's a great thing for Microsoft once again, utilizing your partnership with GameStop, to sell more consoles, to sell Game Pass. And I think Game Pass, I think GameStop makes some coins off of Game Pass Ultimate. All right. So yeah, that's a good thing. I mean, that's what partnerships are for. You get GameStop out of a hole by having this partnership, and then GameStop in return help you advertise and push the Xbox Series X console more. So every novice gamer, or every casual gamer, or every virgin gamer who hasn't even gotten a console yet, or don't even know what a console is, when they walk into that building, a Microsoft representative is going to advertise the Xbox Series X first and foremost. They may go in knowingly wanting a PlayStation 5, but that that GameStop representative is going to sway him to an Xbox Series S or X. Okay. And let me go in here. Gotta go in here, see if this guy's pizza is ready yet. I'll tell you what the things I gotta do. All right, I'll be right back. Hold on. All righty. Okay. If you're still watching, I apologize. I had to get this fool's hot wings. So he's got like some hot wings. I told him I'll pick it up. All right. So where were we? Okay. So yeah, the GameStop partnership is going to be very beneficial for Microsoft as far as selling consoles and Game Pass. All right. And damn, man, they could have done a little bit better job on this. Yo, what's up? Yo, what's up, Rush? So yeah, that's going to be very beneficial for Microsoft as far as pushing Xbox Series X, okay? And GameStop is going to make a little coin, a little quiche on, I think, pushing the Game Pass Ultimate. And that's going to be very beneficial for Microsoft and GameStop, all right? So that partnership is going to be very significant for GameStop. Because like I said earlier, you know, now they're going to be pushing Xbox Series X consoles heavily, all right? So when you go into your friendly neighborhood GameStop store, you might have the best intentions for a PlayStation 5, but that GameStop representative is going to try to sway you into changing your purchase from a PlayStation 5 to an Xbox Series X. So yeah, that's very, and then, you know, if you've been in GameStop before, you know, they're all con men salesmen, okay? They're always trying to push the insurance for the disc. You know, if you spend another $5 or $10, you can get insurance for your disc. Well, what do I need the insurance for? Well, it's simple, you know, like if your disc, like if your disc scratches or if it tears up or get damaged, you can just bring it back to your friendly neighborhood GameStop store and we'll just give you a brand new disc. Okay, how many times has that ever happened to anyone? How many times you buy a brand new disc and you take it out the case and somehow you scratch it trying to put it in the disc tray, or taking it out of the disc tray and it gets scratched, or the disc somehow gets damaged or broken? How many times that ever happens to anybody? I think it only happened to me one time in my whole entire life. and it was an Xbox 360 game. And I can remember it like it was yesterday. I can remember when it happened. I used to live in this house out east, and I had an Xbox 360, and yeah, it happened to you. Okay, well, I'm gonna tell you my story. So I was living out east. I bought an Xbox 360. I already had an Xbox 360, and I was playing Madden, and I think it was the Madden with T.O. on the cover. Not 100% sure. I remember T.O. was one of the players I was playing with, and I don't know, maybe I must have went retarded, or I don't know what the hell was going on with me, but I had it, in the same position I always had it. For some strange reason, I turned the Xbox 360 upside down when I was moving it, as it was on. And when I did that, it jarred the disc, and the Xbox 360 scratched my Madden. All right. And I was pissed off at myself. I just immediately just threw the disc away and bought another disc. Okay. And just played Madden again. Now, one of my friends told me that, yo, Chris, you really didn't have to buy another disc. And I said, huh? Scooby? So he said, no, the game is all. Now, I don't know if this to be 100% true, but he says that all the 360 games are already in your library. So all you had to do was just play it off the memory. So you didn't technically have to buy a disc. That's what he told me, but by that time, I already purchased the disc, okay? And I never tried it that way. I don't know if that's 100% legit or true, all right? But that's the only time I remember damaging a disc. Other than that, when I had a lapse of judgment, and I went full-blown retard, and I'm up here moving the 360 around while it was still on, okay? And that's the only time I damaged a disc. That's the only time I damaged a disc where a disc is unplayable. All right. So yeah, the GameStop. Back to what I was talking about, GameStop. Yeah, all that stuff. The games, the selling the insurance. GameStop are they're con artists. They try to get you to buy everything, buy warranties on your disc. Now, they do have a pretty good warranty on their consoles. Now, I will admit to that. All right. And then you got to buy into their membership and, all types of stupid stuff. Buy their t-shirts and keychains and stuff like that. And, I never fell for the okie doke. Okay. But, that's just one of the things that happened at GameStop. It just, it is what it is. But yeah, the acquisition, the partnership with GameStop, and I forgot to read your comments, sir. I apologize. That's a good partnership, and it's going to be very beneficial for GameStop and Microsoft, That's going to be very beneficial for those cats, all right? And when it's all said and done, I think the essence of that partnership, it's going to spawn them to sell more consoles, because GameStop employees are going to basically promote these consoles, all right? And and it's going to sell Game Pass Ultimate, of course, and GameStop is going to make a little coin, a little ching-ching from every purchase of that. So yeah, but I think that's a good deal. I think that's a good partnership. That's going to be very beneficial for both companies. And I think the Bethesda deal is good for Microsoft, and it builds the roster of Game Pass. And it builds a roster of Game Pass. It adds more studios, that's going to create more first-party games for the Xbox console, all right? But I still feel like I felt on previous tweets, on previous videos, on previous live streams, on previous podcasts, Microsoft overspent on Bethesda. They was bidding with themselves. And there were plenty of corporations out there that could have, bought Bethesda for that amount. And there's a reason why they didn't. Because the Bethesda of today is not the same Bethesda 10 years ago. It's like I said earlier in this live stream. A lot of guys, a lot of guys will jump to the ceiling if they were dating a Playgirl model that was hot in 1990. Okay? A lot of guys would jump for joy because they're married or they're a boyfriend to a playmate in 1990, and here we are 2020. She's got more mileage on her. She's not as young as she once was. She's older. She has kids. She has baggage. But y'all would jump for joy. Hey, I'm dating a playmate model from 1990. Wow. And that's the same thing with the Bethesda deal. Bethesda in 1990 was a great studio, was a great company. But Bethesda, fast forward to 2020, Bethesda now is not the same Bethesda. And there's a reason why they were for sale. Because they couldn't get from under themselves. They would make mistakes after mistakes. And people just giving up on Bethesda. And to be truthfully honest with you, if Microsoft didn't come in and save the day, Bethesda would have been split up. All them studios would have been split up and sold to the highest bidder, and then poof, no more Bethesda. Say bye-bye to Bethesda. All right? Elder Scrolls would have seen brighter days. Okay? Wolfenstein would have seen brighter days. Doom would have seen brighter days. I'm not too sure about the rest of them. I'm not too sure about Fallout. Would Fallout would have seen brighter days if it would have been broken down? Now, the people that make Fallout, they would have, be making another game. But will we ever see another Fallout if Microsoft didn't come and acquire Bethesda? Something to think about. So, yeah, that's all I got for this live stream. Now, I know a lot of you guys, look, if you was in the middle of this, just watch the beginning and then catch the end, okay? So let me see if I can pull up these chats. Let's see if I can I pull? GameStop insurance is a scam. Yes, it is a scam. Never happened to me, LOL. Yep, but it happened to me a lot, all right? So, I gotta go, guys. I'll holler at y'all later. They're calling me right now. I'll see you guys on the next live stream. Deuces.